Today we're going to be talking about the Canon Rebel T7 DSLR camera. This camera was released by Canon in 2018 and to this day in 2023 remains one of the best-selling used DSLR cameras on the market. It can be had online anywhere from $200 to $325 with the kit lens depending on condition. It's got a 24 megapixel sensor, a fixed LCD screen, and generally a very easy to use menu button functionality. Out of the box, I always recommend, just to get used to shooting with it, just to stick in auto for a little bit while you're shooting. And then once you get used to the camera and its functionality, then you can switch into one of the manual modes where you can adjust aperture or whatever your heart's desire is. Since cameras are my business, I often get asked what my favorite camera is for the price, and the Rebel T7 always comes to mind first. And that's because it fits a wide variety of needs. Because it has interchangeable lenses, you're able to match whatever lens you need to the situation that you need shooting. The Canon Rebel T7 body does not have built-in image stabilization, as it's a budget entry-level DSLR camera. However, a lot of lenses that are available will have image stabilization, and that's often reflected by IS. If I need something that's more like a telephoto lens, then this Canon 70-300 USM lens and has built-in image stabilization is a great choice if you're shooting outdoors. Now that we've talked about the Canon 70-300mm USM lens, it's a great telephoto for nature and birding and outdoor shots. I wanted to go over a few additional lenses that can turn your T7 into a workhorse. The next lens that we're going to talk about is the Canon 10-18mm wide-angle lens. This lens is best known for making even tiny spaces feel open and spacious. It's well loved and used by real estate agents around the world for real estate photography and for making really tight or cramped, especially like bathrooms or bedrooms, feel open and spacious. Kind of plays a trick of your eye because of the wide angle lens. It does result in a little bit of distortion, but overall I found it pleasing to the eye. And whether you're doing indoor photography with the 10-18mm or outdoor photography, there are a lot of cool things that you can do with this lens. The third lens that we're going to go over is the Canon 50mm STM lens. Canon makes at least a dozen 50mm lenses, and the lens that we're talking about is the 50mm STM, which is $100 retail. It's a pretty lightweight and inexpensive lens that I found over the years really performs well. STM stands for stepper motor, and Canon made this lens specifically to deal with lens noise during video shooting. It's super sharp. I've seen it used a lot for fashion, portraits, weddings, and product photography. In fact, I've used it quite a bit to take eBay photos. It handles low light really well, and because of its super wide aperture, it creates a very pleasing background blur. The way that I think about it is if you're buying any of these EF or EF-S compatible lenses, if you decide to upgrade to a different Canon EOS body in the future, you can take these lenses along with you. The fourth lens that we're going to talk about is the Canon 85mm f1.8 portrait lens. On the used market, this is around $275 to $300. Its autofocus speed is super fast. In fact, it's even faster than the 85mm f1.2 L2 lens, which retails for $2,000. So you're talking about a lens that's 7 times the price. That's not as fast as this $275 to $300 used lens. It's widely respected for its portrait capabilities and really creates excellent bokeh. I really love this lens, and I've used it on many different Canon bodies over the years, like the Canon T1i, T2i, T3i, T4i, SL1, SL2. It creates excellent images. Lots of photojournalists use this lens for street photography, as it's super accurate and has low distortion. This lens is a bit spendier than the others that we've highlighted, but man, it creates some incredible pictures with the Rebel T7. I often think of the camera body as the vessel and the lenses as the stewards of the vessel. They're the ones that will really make a camera body shine, really no matter what, because Canon's been making really good DSLRs for a long time now. And they've been making really good lenses for a long time now. So you're able to shoot with a huge variety of not only Canon lenses like this, but also Sigma and Tamron makes some excellent quality lenses as well that will really up your game depending on what your needs are. Thanks for watching my video on the Canon Rebel T7. I hope it was helpful and at least a little bit informative. I just really love photography. And I love cameras, and I love learning about cameras, and I love showing that even though a camera's a few years old, it still has a lot of value. Certainly a few flaws, but for the price point, I mean, it's to be expected. I would still give this camera a thumb up for the price.